Hi there. Welcome to Studio Movie Recap. Today we are going to recap a thriller horror film, Split. The film opens with Claire's birthday party. Her classmate Kathy is invited out of pity because Claire told her father that Kathy often clashes with teachers and gets detained. Kathy asks for a ride home, only to find out that the car has broken down. She was about to catch the bus, but Claire's father insisted that she come home with them. The girls go with another friend, Marcia. Claire's father is approached by an invisible man. After a while, the man named Kevin got into the car. Claire thinks he accidentally got in the wrong car and didn't react. Kevin wears a mask and sprays the girls to make them unconscious. Kathy slowly tries to open the door and get out, but Kevin grabs her too and sprayed her. Kevin leads the girls to a windowless room in an undisclosed location. He pulled Marcia out and led her out. After a while, Marcia wets her pants and runs back to her room. She told the others that Kevin wanted her to dance for him. Claire said they had to work together to get out. Casey was calm and said they needed to figure out what they were up to before taking any action. Therapist, Dr. Karen Fletcher, watches news reports of 3 missing girls and tells how Claire's father woke up to find both the girls and his car gone. Then Karen got an email from someone named Barry telling her she needed to speak urgently. Barry is indeed one of Kevin's diverse personalities. As the girls persistently search for an escape route, they catch a glimpse of what seems to be their captor conversing with a woman, peering through a crack in the door. Claire and Marcia shouted for help from the stranger. The stranger came closer and opened. It turned out it's one of Kevin's persona. She was wearing female clothes and acting like a female. He assures them that their captor understands why they are there, yet he has been instructed not to lay hands on them. He talked with them as if the captor is a different person, not him. During a Skype conference, Karen delves into the details of her patients who are primarily afflicted with dissociative identity disorder. Among them is Kevin. She highlights how certain personalities may have distinct abilities which others lack and mentions how she can sense when an individual has emerged from darkness to light. The girls encounter Hedwig, a character who behaves like a 9-year-old boy. According to him, he's in trouble and scared because Patricia and Dennis, which is the personality that kidnapped the girls, are angry with him. Casey took advantage and tried to persuade Hedwig into freeing them by informing him of their anger towards his actions. Hedwig declined and left them. The girls took the opportunity to initiate plan trying to find an exit via the walls, Claire identifying hollowness on top. She knew that was their only way out and starts breaking the roof to escape there. As Hedwig makes his way back, Claire attempts to climb out with Casey and Marcia holding the door shut. Claire was successful and managed to crawl through the vents towards an escape route. Once outside, Claire takes refuge inside a locker until it's safe for her to help others. He was discovered by Dennis due to her trembling breath being too loud. He was furious and commanded that she removes her shirt because it was dirty per his explanation. He kept her in solitary confinement within another room to separate them. During a subsequent meeting with the therapist, Kevin appears as Barry. Despite his claim of being Barry, the therapist was confused and told him that he is the same person she spoke to the previous day. Karen, the therapist, finally figured out that Kevin's possession of 23 distinct identities and all these personalities behaved differently. She knew Kevin was not mentally well and started to investigate his suspicious behavior. Patricia takes Casey and Marcia out for a meal. Upon arrival, Patricia instructs Marcia to remove her skirt while Casey removes her flannel shirt. They are taken into the dining room to eat as reward for good behavior. During this time, Marcia grabs a chair and hits Patricia in the back before fleeing for help while Casey attempts to escape, as well only to be caught by Patricia, who orders her to go back to their room and threatened her with a knife. Hedwig slept with Casey, cuddling her by force. He started telling her stories and later on wanted to kiss her. Although hesitant at first, she eventually agrees, since she don't know how he will be like if she rejects him. Hedwig then talked about his love of Kanye West's music and showcases his impressive collection to Casey upon request before taking her back to his room. While admiring some artwork in Hedwig's room that depicts a closed window over an open one, Casey hints towards wanting freedom. That triggered anger to Hedwig and was furious, in an attempt to ease any tensions brought up by this realization. He hurriedly tries appeasing her when suddenly Casey grabs a walkie-talkie nearby and begins to call the police. Hedwig tried to get it back and took a baseball bat and tried to hit Casey with it. He managed to take the walkie-talkie and escorted her out of the room to isolate her. Claire and Marcia make an effort to flee by utilizing a wire to open the door of Marcia's room externally. However, their attempts prove vain as they are unable to succeed. Upon arriving at Kevin's home, the therapist is welcomed by Dennis and invited inside. They delve into a conversation regarding the collective personalities that govern Kevin, known as the Horde, including Dennis, Barry, Patricia and Hedwig. As their discussion progresses, Karen experiences intense fear which prompts her to exit the house, where she discovers Claire held captive in one of the rooms. However, before she can act upon it, Dennis intervenes by pulling her away from harm's way. While exploring the laptop, Casey discovers videos featuring Kevin acting as different individuals. One of them is Orwell, who talks about philosophy, and another one named Jade, who struggles with diabetes. Dennis enters an unused railway carriage and begins to turn into the Beast, towering over every other persona in size and might. Upon arriving home, he discovers Karen penning something down on a sheet of paper. She swiftly picks up a petite blade as Dennis ascends the wall and reaches for her. With fervor, Karen attempts to pierce him with the knife, but it fractures against his invincible skin. Subsequently, the Beast mercilessly applies pressure until Karen's backbone snaps, ultimately resulting to her death. Casey managed to open his room and immediately tried to search for her fellow abducted girls. She discovers Marcia's body with a mutilated stomach and proceeds to locate Claire, who is still alive, but Kevin found her and wanted to kill her. He turned into Beast. Casey managed to open the door and ran away. Throughout her search, Casey stumbles upon Kevin's gun and took it for protection. After finding a handful of shells, Casey loads them into her gun. The Beast creep up onto the ceiling and knock out all of the lights so it can be dark. Suddenly helpless in darkness, she becomes an easy target as it lunges toward her, tearing at her shirt, then sinking its jaws deep into Casey's flesh. Before she manages to break free, long enough run behind some bars where she barricades herself inside a cage, with another round-loaded gun ready to shoot him when he approaches again. While bending the bars to enter, the Beast spots numerous scars on Casey's body. According to him, she was different from other people and was innocent and pure, so he had mercy on her and left. Shortly thereafter, a gentleman descends the stairs and discovers Casey. He escorts her to safety outside, where she observes numerous animals confined in an enclosure. Medical professionals soon arrive on scene and transport Casey for treatment. Kevin is now under the complete control of the Horde and is currently alone. According to Patricia, they can rely on the Beast as their protector from this point forward.